In this problem, they give us this graph. Absolute value of x plus absolute value of y equals 4. Now this is a rather uncommonly shaped graph. Now, and so what you can do to try and work your way through what that graph would look like is to ask, well, what if y were 0? What could x be? Well, x could be 4 or negative 4. What if x were 0? What could y be equal to? It could be equal to 4 or negative 4. All right, what about if x is 1? If x is 1, then y could either be 3 or negative 3. Because again, the positive or negatives don't matter. What about 2? Y would be 2 or negative 2. And if x is 3, y would equal 1 or negative 1, because it all has to total up to 4. So what we actually get is a square tilted on its side. So this is the shape of this graph. Absolute value of x plus absolute value of y equals 4. Now it says determine the value of L, that is its total length. Now, the thing to be aware of is that they give us these restrictions over here. Absolute value of x equals x. So that means if we were to plug in a value for x, it has to fit this equation. Now remember, absolute value makes everything positive. So this side is always going to be positive, no matter what we plug in. Which means, in order for this to be equal, x can't be negative, because a negative can't equal a positive. So that means, that tells us that x is greater than 0. Now looking at y, it's the exact opposite. This is going to be positive. And the only way for this to equal a positive is if y is negative. So y is less than 0. So if x is greater than 0 and y is less than 0, that means that we're only looking at a part of this graph. Now where's the part where x is positive and y is negative? That's this part right here. And so what is that length? Well, we could think of this as the hypotenuse of a right triangle. One side is 4 and the other side is 4. So using Pythagorean theorem, we use that to find the hypotenuse using 4 and 4 for the two legs. So we get 32 equal to c squared. So c equals square root of 32. But that is not in simplest form, because we can't take the square root of 32, but we can take the square root of 16, which is 4, leaving a 2 inside. And so that hypotenuse is L. That is our length for this graph. And we're done.